I'm here with my man Stricto, and as you can see, the disappointment is palpable. Arsenal have gone down to defeat, second defeat in a week, one win in their last 5 Premier League games. Stricto, if we were going to use this game as a possible confidence booster for the big game against PSG on Wednesday, then this didn't go well at all.
Not at all. I mean, we spoke yesterday and I said to you we would lose this game. If you remember.
Actually, you did.
Yeah, I said we'll lose this game because I think would be, even with the draws we've been having these last few weeks, we've sort of been getting away with them. But I think against a team like Bournemouth and what they're chasing and what we're chasing, they've got their eye on their prize. We don't seem to have our eye on the prize. And certainly in the league, we've gone from a comfortable sitting second and not worrying about everyone else around us now to this point where everyone's hounding us, we can't seem to buy a win for love nor money. It's just starting to feel gloomy again. We sort of had that good feeling when we beat Real Madrid and everything looked rosy, but now we're back to the shadows again, and it's not looking promising. However, one thing I would say, PSG lost their game before they played us on Tuesday, so I don't think it's a necessarily in confidence indicator, and they had a good team out as well themselves. It's not necessarily but it's just about knowing how to switch it on, and looking out there now. Other than Declan Rice, I can't really. Partey was okay. I couldn't really point out anyone who I thought was ready for Wednesday. But they're gonna have to be. That's the difference. Like, you could play shit today, no problem. Now that is a problem because it's not professional. But Wednesday is where our season lies. So if you want to play this crappy football, this non-energetic, this non-inspiring football, this bland football, then go ahead. But play that on Wednesday, we're out. And everyone knows I'm a big fan of Arteta. I've defended him numerous times, but when you're doing things like this, substitutions that we've needed from earlier, and you're doing it in the 85th minute, you're asking for this. It's hard to defend.
Yeah, we got a rerun basically of what happened in a week, right? In terms of the lateness of the substitutions.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he did it again. If you have no plans of playing Nwaneri or starting Nwaneri on Wednesday, then what is against him getting these minutes of him getting the crowd excited? Everyone wants to come and see. What annoys me the most, I keep saying, there's no such thing as a dead rubber game in the Premier League because fans pay money for tickets, hotel and travel, food, families, to come and watch a game. And the least you could do is put up a performance. It's unprofessional. This is an unprofessional performance. You got a goal up, you don't even try to double it. We're literally just seeing the game out minute by minute till Bournemouth score, and then you just knew it. They were going to get another. I said it to you. So we're going to lose this game. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't want to be right, but it's exactly what happened because their eyes, they can't seem to manage 2 competitions. Like James was saying on the stream, we can't seem to manage 2 competitions. Yes, the league is done, but the Champions League spot in the Premier League hasn't been confirmed yet. We could still finish outside of that because we've got our eye on PSG. But why can't we do both of it?
Yeah, it doesn't make for good viewing. I mean, very disappointing today. I mean, let's talk about the captain because, before the game, there was much talk about him. Myself and you, we did a show yesterday on AFTV. We were talking about, him possibly being made a scapegoat for the defeat against PSG on Tuesday. What did you make of his performance today? Again,
it's the same. It's the same sort of weak, uninspiring performance by a skipper again. Yes, he got the assist, good, but we've come to a level of standard that we expect from you. You got the assist, but what else did you do?
I thought he was decent in the first half.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. I didn't think, other than the assist, I didn't think he was decent. I just, you're good at using words. Yeah, your choice of words. My choice of words is he was not bad. Right. Doesn't mean he was great, decent, good.
No, I'm not saying he was great, but I mean, in the first half, I thought he looked fairly lively. It was a very good assist.
Yeah, you got, but then also let's also look at other players. Let's not just look at Odegaard himself. Let's look
No,
at
the reason why I mentioned Odegaard, I did that quite deliberately because there's been a lot of talk going into this game about whether he should be rested, whether he should play. People were saying he needs a good game ahead of the Champions League semi-final on Wednesday. So this was a big game for him. So that's why I'm calling his name first.
Right. I mean, every game's a big game for him. As long as when you put that armband on and the responsibilities you got to carry, every game's a big game for you. You know, you have to shine. You have to lead the team. So, you know, it doesn't matter whether or not this is Bournemouth, PSG, Crystal Palace, or, you know, any team down that's not, you know, none of the top teams. Then, you know, you're expected to, you know, to lead, you know, but I don't think he particularly had a good game today. Well done for the assist, but you got to do more than that. You know, you can't just, what's the word again? What's the word? I forgot to say now, but basically just look at your work and think, oh yeah, I've done enough now. You know, it's more than that.
Rest on your laurels.
Yeah, there you go. Rest on your rest on your laurel. Do you know what I'm saying? But
I must admit, I'm finding it difficult to raise a smile, to be honest. But right, so you said Declan Rice. Did you say Declan Rice? Apart from
yeah,
that?
I think he's the only one again that is setting the levels, and I feel like you could take my interviews for the last 3-4 weeks and I just cut and paste it. It's just been Declan Rice. Great goal from him. Good. He looked up for it from minute one. You know, you saw that he had another chance that slightly went wide, and then the shot. He looked up for it. You know, Cecil said on the stream, you know, if you're a betting man, put your money on him getting the first goal, and boom, he does. But that's because of his sheer tenacity and want, and his desire to do well personally for himself, for the club, and for the fans, and for the manager. That's just what he's on.
You talk about desire. I got to say, for the 2 goals that Bournemouth scored, there seemed to be a distinct lack of desire on our part in defending it. I mean, the first one came from a throw-in, Semenya, long throw-in, Hyson. I know he's a tall, big lad, but even so, man, he was almost uncontested when he scores that goal. And then the second one, Odegaard again, I don't quite know what he's doing there. He turns his back, he's not even looking at the ball. Raya could have done better for me. I know it was at close range, but he seemed to flap at it. And again, there was Bournemouth players unmarked in the box.
I mean, the set-piece coach gets so much plaudits, you get so much camera time, but your set-piece coach shouldn't be only when we score. What about when we're defending them? Those were like a throw-in, you know, direct. It wasn't even like it was a second touch. It was direct from the throw-in on Howson's head. It wasn't.
It kind of remind me of the Rory Delap days.
Yeah. Who took the throw-in for them?
Semenya.
From Semenyo's hand to Hoyson's head. That should be legal. That shouldn't happen against the Arsenal. But again, we don't have the desire. We just don't have it to want to get to. PSG all over again. Every second ball, PSG. It seems like they don't want it. It's like players. And it goes back to the professionalism. Not being able to manage 2 competitions. Like, I don't want to get injured. I don't want to put my head on the line. I don't, because that big game. And that's what's annoying. Why not? Put your head on the line. Be professional. Rice would have put his head there.
No, it was poor. But, we're stuck for time. The obvious question, do you think we have it within us to turn it around on Wednesday?
It's not the worst. We made the analogy yesterday in terms of boxing. You get clipped, you get up. It's not a cut on the eye. It's not bad. You can sort of get your rest, which we're going to get now, and go into it, and finish the rounds, and then hopefully finish victorious. I do think we're going to turn it around. It's definitely not impossible, but it is worrying that how we are playing. Like we saw it on Tuesday. I'm talking about players not being professional and having one eye on one game, but we saw what happened when we turned out against PSG. It looked like, what game have you lot got your eye on now? Is it on Bournemouth now? What's going on now? Do you know what I'm saying? So listen, if they turn up and want and realise, most importantly, this is all we have left, those 90 minutes is all we have left, then I can't see why we can't at least leave there with our heads held high. At least.
At the very least. Anyway, thanks, Victor.
Hi, we've teamed up with UK Auto Claims to see if you could be eligible to score thousands in compensation. If you've had any cars, vans or motorbikes on finance between 2007 and 2021, go to ukautoclaims.co.uk to start your free simple check. Loads of you will have overpaid and payouts could be worth thousands, so you've got to look into it. Hit up the link below and check now for free.